Hello, my name is Paul Kelly, and this is just a brief introduction to Sarvanga Yoga. And I use this term Sarvanga to reference Sarvanga Bandha, which means bandhas throughout the limbs. So Sarvanga Yoga would be yoga throughout the limbs. And rather than just creating another style, there's a myriad of styles out there of yoga, and they are moving in certain directions based on preferences of the founders of those styles. This is something a little bit different. Basically, we're just trying to clarify a simple way to access yoga. And once understood and experienced, it could be applied to any yoga style, any yoga technique. So you might find these principles in other styles, but often in these other styles, the emphasis is in a particular direction. There are certain benefits that are sought after that can actually obstruct the experience of yoga. So one of the main things we're trying to do in Sarvanga Yoga is take away all the chaff, clean out the nonsense, get rid of the myth, the fantasy, just get practical about yoga. And one of the nice things about this is that yoga is easily accessed by anyone. So this is the first thing to know. You don't have to be practicing for 20, 30, 40 years. There's kind of this idea in popular consciousness that to achieve significant results in yoga, lengthy amounts of practice are required. That's not true. Yoga, or unity, is here all the time. We're all living in it, breathing in it. It's what allows everything to function. So there doesn't have to be this extensive striving to get it. In fact, striving leads us away from yoga. So that'll become clear in later talks about how we transition from these concepts into actual practice. But essentially the idea is this. Sarvanga Yoga means yoga throughout the limbs. So we're going to be clarifying fundamental techniques which are applied in a simple yoga practice, and they rapidly, practically, and safely invite the experience and expression of yoga. And this is very powerful. Simplicity is important. It's easy for egos to get attached to exotic language, extensive explanations of processes that are occurring in the body, but these are all intellectual games, and they don't facilitate the experience of yoga. And this is really what I'm interested in. I'm interested in people experiencing yoga and myself experiencing yoga. And if on the side you have interest in these other things, these intellectual pursuits, fine. But there's no need to cloud your practice on the mat with these approaches. And unfortunately, it's commonly done. So in the name of yoga, much of this is being done. This learning of exotic names, learning of anatomy and physiology, getting very detailed about how we proceed with certain yoga techniques, so detailed that yoga is missed altogether. So hopefully you'll find through these Sarvanga Yoga principles that your yoga becomes simpler, more easily accessed, and safer. So look forward to future videos where we'll clarify these actions and techniques. My name is Paul Kelly. I run the Ananda Yoga Studio in Taos, New Mexico. And the approach to yoga that we're discussing here is Sarvanga Yoga. I have a blog on the internet if you'd like to visit that. That's sarvangayoga.blogspot.com. And I have a website which outlines my studio and what we're trying to do here. That's AnandaYogaTaos.com. Thanks for taking the time to listen. Take care.